This isn't necessarily the style of video that I wanted to do for this, but you know, it's the most consistent style of video on my channel, so we're just gonna roll with it. Hi there, welcome back. Or at least welcome myself back to making YouTube videos. I decided to take an honest and earnest break and not actually worry about making videos for a while I focused on doing stuff that actually got me paid and allowed me to pay for food. So yeah, as far as what I've been doing outside of YouTube and editing and making art and stuff, I've been making soap. It sounds ridiculous, but soap making is actually a really fun process. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little slideshow of all this different stuff that I've made right there, and that'll just be in the background while I take a few minutes to just say what I've been trying to working towards regarding the channel. And basically, it's like my want to do a diversified amount of content is great, and I just basically want to provide as much varied entertainment for people as possible. However, that is not necessarily doable for me right now because I simply lack the resources, the funding, and the time to. So basically, when I first wanted to the first thing I wanted to do as my break from making content was basically zero in on a new name, zero in on a new type of brand that I want to push forward, and just kind of condense the style of content that I'm doing. That way I have room to make a lot of it and then kind of like actually distribute it out in a way that in a timely manner that I like. So the first major change is the name. Let's face it, the name of my channel is a little bit long, complicated, and a little bit pretentious, so I decided to shorten it. So instead of going by Arbidreus Asixius, I am now going by simply Asixius because it is unique and it still holds some of the original branding of my previous name. Yeah, and as far as like related auxiliary stuff, like my Instagram and my TikTok, I won't really be changing the names of those because it's really my main focus is YouTube here and trying to get something rolling with that. I will still be posting to those respective things. I am unsure whether or not I will stick with X. I still have my account, I just don't post there as much, but we will see if I do that. But yeah, for the most part, everything outside of YouTube is going to be a secondary thought. Everything outside of YouTube and the Patreon, it will be a secondary thought, but we'll get to the Patreon at the end. Alright, the next major change was moving to a more bulk content creation production timeline, which is something I've kind of strived for a lot, but I've never really been able to actually adhere to it because I always kind of like subscribe to the doctrine of, hey, I have the content, I might as well put it out. So I would start putting my content every like day or every other day, and then I would just chew through what I had. So I basically want to stop doing that. That way I always have something in the bank for when I need it. And plus I kind of need to start playing more into YouTube's finicky uploading and publicizing things because let's face it, uploading every day isn't the most practical thing to do when you're a smaller YouTuber like me, so for the most part, content will be made weeks or months in advance, so if it takes me a while to respond to something in a video series, it is because most of the time I'm probably recording the series in its entirety before uploading it. Comments and everything will still be addressed in update videos like this or reading your comment videos. I'm still unsure if I want to put those together, but yeah, if you have an opinion on that, let me know. Content staples for the channel are simply just going to be art and gaming related. I like making art and I like playing games, and I feel like that's a narrow enough net to cast to where I can actually be able to complete a series, because prior to this I had mainly been doing, or at least trying to mainly do anything and everything, and I burned myself out real badly and I would just never actually accomplish anything. Exceptions to that rule are going to be update videos like these, as well as certain sponsored content. Like if I get paid money to review a product in a video, I'm probably going to dedicate a video to reviewing it. So the last major change is the profile and banner art on the channel. I basically wanted to update that to something that is a little bit more consistent because most of my profiles on this channel and my banner have not been the same for a while, and I think that'll kind of help me kind of keep focus or whatever, at least give people a better idea on what I'm about. So yeah, that's all the major updates. As far as like an actual uploading schedule, I don't have anything planned right now. I have some stuff saved in the backlog, but as far as like a consistent series that are going on, I have yet to do that. I have yet to actually like do a series from start to finish and have it ready for uploading, so that'll probably happen next month, and I will have not a charter, a ledger of all of the stuff that I plan to release in the community page. Yeah, and that's going to be where most of the updates are. Alright, on to the Patreon. The Patreon is still acting as its sort of umbrella for me, so in the order of things is like, when you support the channel, you are supporting me. When you support the Patreon, you are supporting the goals and the ideals of the Patreon, which are what my original goals for the channel were, which is just doing a variety of stuff and putting money towards a variety of stuff. So as far as who's a part of the Patreon, it is myself and Alan Smithy. Say hello, Alan. And those are kind of the only two active members currently that are making stuff strictly dedicated to the Patreon, but we will hopefully try to diversify a little bit more. As far as the type of stuff you'll be able to find and pay for on the Patreon, it's mainly just going to be non-watermarked or full resolution images that I make or Alan makes, as well as some behind the scenes content when we move on to doing other projects. I also want the Patreon to be kind of more tuned into a public broadcast type of thing for streaming, but I still haven't worked out logistically how that's going to work. But yeah, if you want to support the channel, all you really have to do is subscribe. If you wanted to go the extra mile and support the channel, like monetarily wise, then the Patreon is there. And that's basically all I'm going to push for it. Primarily, the main sponsor of the channel is going to be the Hourly Creations Patreon, but that is mainly because I don't have any other sponsors. And the Hourly Creations Patreon is entirely going to be a crowdfunded or publicly donated type of thing, like PBS. I don't know if I'm allowed to compare it to PBS, but that's what I'm doing. Now, before I get too rambly, I'm going to end it here, because I still have a lot of work to do. So I thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a very nice day. I'm gonna go enjoy my birthday.